speaking tongues. You can collect friendship breakfast anytime,
And it hurts
anywhere.
more. And our discernment is very strong.
True.
You can smell bullshit from a mile away. Okay, first of all, I'm not a witch.
If you don't tell me, I won't know.
You stop speaking English and go crazy because the devil don't play. I rely on this relationship for my mental health. It's not for
Guys, I'm her therapist. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Joy. If this is the first time you've seen this beautiful face, please do not make it your last. Do well to like, subscribe, share, and be a part of this community, okay? So very quickly today, I want to introduce you to somebody you already seen, but you do not know. Guys, I am so excited. If you've been on this channel, you know that it's only one person that has sat beside me, and that's my husband. So today is very special. I'm sitting with my best girl. Guys, by the time you've seen this video, you probably have seen like the Niger vlog. Now you know I'm in Nigeria right now, okay? So I want to allow this beautiful woman introduce herself to y'all.
Okay.
Hey girl.
It's a pleasure to be here. Finally, I get to grace your channel.
I know. It's
Yes,
been a long
I'm a
time
fan.
for me.
I'm a huge fan. So this means a lot, actually. My name is Gertrude Amarachiko Ume, and I'm a mom, a wife, and
Amazing mom and wife. It's amazing, guys.
I like to think so myself.
Girl, you are. You know already.
Okay, thank you, Mama. So yeah, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm a tech sales professional. I sell technical solutions to businesses and consumers. So I do B2B a lot and a little bit of B2C. So what we do is we work with tech companies, and those tech companies that you love so much. That's what tech sales is all about. These tech, the Netflix, the Facebook, the Riceverse, that's the company I work with. So many technical companies actually. So what we do is we sell whatever products it is, whatever solution that they are preferring to you all. So that's what we do. I'm a part of a community, Tech Sales Nexus. I co-founded the community with
my girl's the boss. Just so you know, guys, that's the one I was waiting to hear. The boss.
Babe, I beg. So yeah, we co-founded that community, Tech Sales Nexus, and it's a community for other professionals in tech sales to network, learn together. It's like an open learning kind of platform. We offer each other learning resources, tips that make us thrive at what we do, job opportunities, if any, and yeah, just basically thrive in our different roles. That's what I do.
Guys, the reason I allowed her to do all this is because you need to know who's sitting here, okay? This girl, I know she didn't mention it. She has been married for
7 years.
a little over 7 years. Over 7 years, guys. A little over 7 years. And she's a mom of 4 amazing angels, guys.
Yes,
and she's been into the, you know what I mean? So whatever you hear her say today, just best believe it's coming from experience and years of, doing time and time again. Okay. So guys, today we're going to be talking about navigating female friendships. Okay. So if you've been on this channel, you've heard me talk about friendships and how not exactly, into it, but you know that I've given tips here and there about friendships and how I try to navigate female friendships. But today I'm going to be having this conversation with my girl because our friendship is a little over 12 years, and that's like 12 solid years of doing life with this babe right here. Has there been ups and downs? Yes. There's been days when I want to, she knows, and there's been days when she's like, girl, what am I going to do with you? I'm
Some days I want to kill you.
I know. I know. So when we talk about 12 years of friendship, you should know that we've seen the best of it, we've seen the worst of it. Maybe not the very best, because the best is yet to come, but I think we've seen the worst of it, right? And we've been able to navigate these things through. So today we're going to be talking about friendships with every other person, like outside us, even with ourselves. But we're going to talk about female friendships, okay? We know that there is friendship and then there's female friendship, okay? Being friends with somebody of your gender, our gender, can be a lot, right?
We're too much.
I know, we can be too much, right? So it comes with a lot of baggages. It comes with a lot of uncertainties. It comes with a lot of promotion and demotion. You know what I mean? So today we're going to talk about all that good stuff, okay?
Yes.
So if you know you're not subscribed to this channel, this is an opportunity.
Hit the subscribe button
Because you want to hear all the gist. You want to be a part of this conversation, right? The comment box is open for you to put in whatever you want to put in there. Tell us about your experience. But right now we're gonna jump right in, okay? So the first question I want to ask my girl here is, when you hear female friendships, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
When I hear female friendship, I know that it's a relationship that has to do with your gender. That's the first thing, of course. A female that is your friend, not an acquaintance, a friend that you've been intentional about for quite a period of time, and you guys have grown together through the years. That's what I hear. That's what comes to mind. Someone that is as intentional as I am about me to them, right? I'm intentional about them and they are intentional about me. That's when I'll qualify you as a friend.
Okay, so at what point do you think that someone you've known for a while, say you guys are just talking, you're in the talking stage, at what point do you promote them? I want to use the word promote because I feel like it's some levels of elevation, right? At what point do you promote them from being like an acquaintance to a friend?
To a friend. So, through my years, I know that I've met a lot of people, a lot of females. When I start to consider someone a friend is when we have, built some form of rapport for over a period of time. We've built a rapport. And then even while at it, I can see how intentional that person is. And I keep saying intentional because for me, any relationship at all is about intentionality, even with a romantic other. So with a female friend, when I start to qualify you as a friend, is when you start to treat me with as much intentionality as I treat you. If I start to consider you as someone that I would like to have in my corner as a friend, I will be intentional about how much I reach out to you, intentional about how I prioritize you. And if I don't get the same energy, it stays where it is. But if I see that you are investing in that relationship as much as I am investing in a relationship with you, then I mean, let's go.
Okay. Now, there's something you just said I picked, and that is, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm laughing, but that is, you know how you said you guys have to put in the same energy. So in a situation like, we both are mothers, right? And I know what motherhood has done to me. I'm going to be very personal here because I think my journey is totally different, right? And just knowing that I live in diaspora where there is little or no help, right?
Yes.
And I know how I struggle to keep people in my circle. I have a very small circle, and this is a leader of that circle, right? But it is very difficult for me to open that circle, if that makes sense. So I stay with a very close knit of people. And even with that close knit of people, I don't have that habit of checking on them every other day.
time.
Do you get what I mean? And that is because I think motherhood took a toll on me on how I prioritize things. It doesn't mean my friends are not priority. It just means that that friend would speak to you like in a week, after a week, and then you don't hear from me, and then maybe 1 week later I pick up the phone, I call you, and we pick up from where we left. That is for some type of friends. Definitely not with this one, because this one, I mean, she has me on a chokehold, right? But I'm just saying, like, there are friends like that. How do you navigate, or how do you deal with friends who you know are dealing with some sort of thing, like, they're in a season in their lives and you know that they're literally struggling? How do you deal with that?
Okay, first of all, I'm not a witch. If you don't tell me, I won't know. I'm not a witch.
It's true, girl.
If you don't tell me, I won't know.
True.
And if I consider you my friend, you have an idea. There is no how you wouldn't have an idea, at least an inkling of the kind of struggles that I'm fraught with, right? Right? So you knowing what I'm going through, you would be able to extend grace.
True.
So if I know, even when she moved to Australia, it was quite, I wouldn't say it was difficult for us, because we just knew we had to salvage the relationship somehow. And that was how much it meant to me. It wasn't a perfect relationship. Even at that, we still fought about a number of things, right? But I knew that this relationship, this girl in my life, meant a lot to me, and I had to save it somehow. I wasn't going to throw away all that we've invested in our relationship over distance. I had to make it work somehow. And in those times when there seemed to be a lack of communication from your end, I was intentional about reaching out, because I would always think, okay, maybe she is this. Okay, maybe this is what's going on, because you've given me an idea of what it looks like over there. And I was in the best position to extend grace. And now I would advise any other person does that too in their relationships when they feel it's that kind of way as well.
All right. So this leads me to asking you about communication. So we all know that communication doesn't only imply to romance relationships, right? It applies to every kind of
Every
relationship,
relationship.
even like a work relationship. You need to talk about these things.
Very important.
So I have had friends, I'm going to be quite personal right now. I've had friends who I know struggle with communication, right? And I know how it turned out in our friendship. Like, things just went south. Personally, over the years, I've learned that communication is everything.
Yes.
Now, I think or I know that communication doesn't always go like one way. It's not possible that you sit down with somebody who probably has things building up in your head. Because personally, I'm an overthinker, right? I probably must have thought about it. I'm like, I want to have this conversation with this person. How do I go about it? How do I sound? Or how do I put my thoughts on the table without sounding offensive, right? And you, on the other hand, you've probably gotten the gist. You know that there's something in the air. The atmosphere is thick, right? And we're having a conversation. And then you know that things would not ordinarily, like, it's sometimes not possible for you to tell somebody you're offended and person, oh, sorry, let's go. Sometimes they want to tell you their bit. Sometimes things go from 0 to 1,000. And that's how everybody just like, you know what? Let's leave it as it is. Okay. So when it comes to communication and when it comes to friendships, how do you deal with communicating your feelings to your friends, especially when you feel like they did something that hurt you and they're acting oblivious or they don't know, just maybe they're innocently oblivious of what happened? How do you communicate to them your
Okay.
feelings?
I'll take our relationship as an example. I know that we cannot entirely just, disregard certain things. One thing that has helped our relationship thrive so far is the fact that we both are talkers.
Yes.
We are naturally talkers.
True.
And we are not pretenders. That's one of the reasons why our relationship has thrived to this extent. So naturally, it comes to us to open our mouth and talk.
Sure.
And even in times when we feel like, oh, you know what, I don't want to talk about this because it might not be the best time to talk about it, or it might just come off wrongly. We can't even help it in that moment because the other person catches the vibe that there is something wrong.
Sure. Immediately.
And you'll be like, okay, what's wrong with me? What's happening? What's going on? You can't even pretend to save your life in that moment. So it's best to just have a conversation. We've had like the most difficult conversations. And at this point, I'll give myself a master in having very difficult conversations. No matter how uncomfortable a conversation is, I'd rather talk it out than, just let it slide. And that way we further learn about, how to handle ourselves and our emotions and any situation that comes our way. Because when we talk about these things, we learn from it and we now start to see that is either we were overthinking it or the person now gets to see that, oh, I see where you're coming from. I didn't even know that this is how it looked or how it made you feel. And my apologies, and we try to be better for it, basically.
And in a situation whereby they don't agree that they hurt you, what happens?
That one, I don't know, my sister, because it's never been like that. For being able to, when someone tells you that this is what you did that hurt my feelings, you want to apologize first before you even get defensive. You don't want to go saying, oh, but that's not what I meant. You want to, oh, I'm sorry that made you feel that way, but this is what I was actually, this is why I acted that way. Not in defense of what I did, but this is why I acted that way. And I'm sorry. And you just know that next time you would approach that situation or a different situation differently. Yeah.
Okay. This leads me oh, guys, sorry. This leads me to something I want to talk about, which is friendship hearts. I want us to table it. Let's bring it out. Okay. Let's scatter this table once and for all. Okay. So if you have female friends, you know that collecting friendship breakfasts is not new.
It's not new.
It's not new. You can collect friendship breakfast anytime.
And it hurts more. And it hurts more than a boy-girl relationship. Yes.
Oh my God.
It hurts more.
I have been in that position where someone served me breakfast on a silver platter.
Okay.
Like, guy, I'm like, okay, what is happening? Not me going to cry to my husband and be like, I don't know what I did to this person.
Oh my God.
Girl, I have been there, okay? Now, I want us to talk about friendship heart from the perspective of someone who you've been friends with for a very long time. Now, when you see somebody, or maybe you're friends with somebody, or maybe a bare acquaintance, or an acquaintance that got promoted to a friend, and all of a sudden started acting up and you just demote them, I think that's even quite handleable, if that makes sense. But talking about friendship or from somebody you've been friends with for say 5-10 years, how do you think, or how have you ever experienced something like that before?
Yes, I have. I have.
How did that make you
Most
feel?
recently, even. That made me feel bad, but I am too emotionally mature to not know that things like that do happen
And could happen.
and could happen. While I pray for our relationship to thrive through the years, I know somewhere in my heart, I know that life might happen,
Happen,
but
yeah.
I pray it never happens because I rely on this relationship for my mental health. It's not for
Guys, I'm her therapist. You see that my social work degree? It's for her. I'm her therapist for my class.
So yes, why I pray for that. But I also know that with some other relationships, yeah, it does happen and it has happened. And at that point, I just knew that okay, it's fine, no bad blood. I just knew that we have to part our ways. This time, there was this girl I was friends with, through uni, and that period where we just graduated, I just knew that, okay, no, what this babe did is just off. I wouldn't have done this to you. And if this is how you see me and how you've treated me behind my back, then I'm sorry, we can't be friends. And it was a clean slate. So I just, in my mind, I don't know, there's just the switch that just goes off. And I just know that, okay, if I see you on the road, hi, how you doing? What's up? But I just know that we're not there
But did you
anymore.
communicate the switch? Did you let her know that this is where you're at mentally with her?
Of course, I would let you know what you did wrongly, but us going back to how it used to be, someone that I took in as a sister, it just wouldn't work anymore. Because immediately there is this shield. I want to protect myself from that kind of scenario playing out again, because it was a trust issue.
True.
I can't thrive in a relationship with someone if I don't trust you.
True.
So I'd rather keep you at arm's length.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in talking about friendship and friendship heart, someone told me a story recently about how they had issues with a very close friend and they weren't speaking for a very long time. And this person that told me this is like a reality, right? And this friendship, we knew this friendship, girl, like right from when we were growing up, we knew that these two people, they're like ride or dies. And then for a whole 10 years, they didn't speak.
Oh my God,
And
that's a
guess,
lot.
I'm telling you, and guess what caused the issue was something as trivial, something very little, right? And then there was a family function recently, and somehow, the sister of one of them invited them, right? And she's like, okay, no problem. And that was how they saw each other face to face after 10 years. And somehow, I don't even know if they had the conversation, but somehow they reunited and everything just went back to maybe not normal, but they started talking, okay? Which now leads me to what I'm going to ask. In a situation where you've been friends with somebody for a long period of time and then there was like a breakout, and then somehow along the line, and I'm saying somehow because
Life happens.
life happens in phases and seasons, and somehow things just change. And I'm saying change because we know that we believe in forgiving and just moving on, right?
Yeah.
It's okay to not be friends with somebody. It's okay
Yeah.
to not have the same mindset. It's okay to not like the same things. It's okay to not even be friends with somebody, but you can just be very cordial, right? So what
And
happens
civil.
if exactly what happens if you now get to a season in your life where you feel like, okay, maybe I can just reevaluate this friendship and bring this person closer? What's your ideology about befriending somebody that was unfriended? If that makes sense. What's your, because a lot of people say these things like they can never,
Yeah.
but some other people they give room for that
What ifs?
what ifs. Do you get? Some people give room, and I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a weird situation. But what's your
Yes.
thoughts?
So I know for a fact that, when you tell people that, oh, I used to be friends with this person, but something happened, no bad blood, I just keep this person. They'll be like, no, it's not possible. That means you're holding a grudge. I'm not holding a grudge. And that would be proven when in situations like this, where 10 years later and there is room to reevaluate the friendship or something, life just happened and you both are in each other's space again. And, a relationship is trying to, like you guys are trying to fan the flames again, right? Yeah, I'm open to that because there is no grudge actually. But I won't even lie that somewhere in my heart, that event that happened years ago will keep
Lingering.
it will keep rearing his head, trying to remind me that, oh, be careful, remember this happened, oh, be careful, right? And there is no how I would not talk to you about it. If
Just to
we
clear the air.
exactly, if we, and I would have spoken to you about it before I would have given you an arm's length anyways. But if years later we are trying to, we'll definitely have that conversation again. And I would need to see consistent, what's the word for that?
Change.
Not just change. You know how you have to
Prove yourself, you mean?
prove yourself, something like that. I'll have to see consistent reinforcement that, okay,
I'm a different
I'm a
person.
different person.
Yeah.
You don't have to outrightly always say I'm a different, but your actions, your intentions towards me, your gestures would show. And our discernment is very strong, actually.
True.
Our discernment is very strong.
True.
You can smell bullshit from a mile away. Exactly. So if you're coming back with bullshit,
I beg this girl not to say. I beg her not to say.
you can smell bullshit from a mile
Girl.
away. We'll give you excuses, but yeah,
Yeah.
we can smell bullshit.
And 99% of the time, whenever we smell it, it comes close.
Yes.
Like it just happens.
Yes, it happens.
And
It might take time, but it will be clear later.
So now that we've talked about friendship hots, there's also something I want us to talk about, which is red flags in friendship. At what point do you think, I mean, let's be very generic right now. At what point do you think red flags show up in friendship? And how do you get to know? I know we sniff things very easily, but how do you begin to point out things that are off when it comes to friendship for you?
Okay, very importantly, well, you mentioned friendship. So we've moved past the acquaintance stage,
Yes.
and now we're friends.
Yes.
I wanted to mention that from the acquaintance stage, you'd start to sense certain things that would, make you want to take a step back, especially if the person's not being intentional towards you. The person doesn't respect or extend that kind of the respect you give to them to you. Because I mean, why we have been friends this long is also because we have some level of mutual respect for each other. Then if we're friends now, and then I start to see certain things that are just off, I start to know when you're not as invested as I am in that relationship anymore. And then I started to take a step back after giving you like tons of excuses and extending grace to you. And I just see that you are not, you're no longer that person in our relationship that is also investing as much as I am. Because it is an investment. Even when you're trying to court somebody, you're consistently pouring into that bank of love.
True.
And there are times when you make withdrawals from it, but you should also know your intentions, your actions towards that person, how you treat them, how you make them feel, refills your bank of love. And same in friendship as well. So one red flag would be when I start to see your intention receding, and when I start to see that you're not as invested in the relationship as I am, or you make condescending remarks, you don't treat me with respect as I treat you, you don't take what I do seriously. For example, my friends, even since when Joy started sewing, when she started designing outfits as well, I was one person that would put it on my socials. I don't care if you're my person and you're doing anything. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. As long as I care about you and that means a lot to you, I will also hawk it like it's mine. And then when I'm doing something, I don't expect you. It's not by force. You don't have to do it, but you hold to.
Babe, there's an expectation.
I was going to say
There is an expectation.
Yeah.
Because it's energy matches energy, right?
It's not even like it's not by force. So
You're not even supposed to talk about it.
True that. I don't need to tell you, but you picking up on the fact that, oh, this is my friend and this is what she's doing, and I'm going to take it as seriously as she's and promote it. That like that is free, you like a post.
The comment
you
that is free.
You comment, you share. I cannot for the life of me see a friend's post on social media promoting something that means so much to them, and then I do not like or comment or share or give some sort of opinion.
Remark, yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to
And
me.
this thing
I
you
can't
just said,
relate.
this thing you just said now, just reminds me of, or just makes me wonder, people that you call your friend and you think you guys have a good relationship. Like you said, there are different levels to these things. So if you successfully graduate from being an acquaintance to being a friend, there's certain expectations. And
Of course, true.
I'm sorry, I have to expect certain things from
Certain
you.
things from you,
So the
actually.
fact that we are friends, I don't believe friendships without expectations, because just the way I would feel very overwhelmed and I'll call her me and I say, this is how I feel. I don't expect that she'll solve my problem, but I expect that she reassures me.
Reassure, yeah.
That reassurance is because I'm not calling you to run and you say, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Bye bye. No. And for me to confide in you with such information, I don't tell everyone about my
And
life.
sorry about that. Sorry for cutting you short. And not just when you tell me about something that is important to you, that is bothering you. And after that moment, I just, keep it moving. I have a lot going on with me, but because she's important to me,
You make room.
I make room in my mind immediately carries that burden like it's mine. And I know that I have to follow up with her, babe. How far? This thing that you spoke about, what's up? Have you guys resolved it? Or what's the 411? Things like that. Not just being lackadaisical about your relationship. Women need to understand that for a relationship to thrive, you need to be invested in that relationship. I keep saying invested because that's really what it is. It's not just about a male friendship that, you're trying to, make work. Your female friendships, you need to make it work as well. You need to. As a mom of 4, even through my pregnancies, through postpartum, I don't want to say depression. You know what we experience after after you have a baby. I am very intentional about my friendships. I am very anybody watching this video that consider themselves a friend to me,
They know.
raise your hand if you feel. I have my close friends know that. Sometimes they ask you, how do you juggle everything? Because I take you seriously. That's why. If I don't take you seriously, forget it.
And I think this is the point where I give accolade to this babe. Because guys, the way this girl holds friendship, it can never be me. And I'm so sorry. No. I don't have the bandwidth.
I don't have the bandwidth anymore.
No, you do.
No. Right now,
Guys, I
I have a lot going on. I don't have the bandwidth anymore.
No. Because
that's why now, if you are a friend and I just see that, look at this one. You want me, and I'm the only person always checking up on you, and I see that that's what it is. No. I don't have that strength
the reason
anymore.
why I said you have the capacity to do friendship is because back in school, so I've known this babe like since way back in school, right? And then everybody knows me as a social butterfly. I'm the one that would greet everybody from the
very annoying.
Very
annoying. Oh my God. She's so annoying. She was friends with everybody. How exhausting. How can you do that? Oh my God.
But that's where you get it wrong. I'm not friends with them. I'm just acquaintances. Because you see, outside that greeting, I don't know you outside that place. I don't even want to know you outside that, hi, what's up? What fun now? It's all good. But you see this girl, she has like, back then in school, she had like 10 friends. I think 10 friends. All of them are taking front rows in her life.
I took all of them seriously. Yes.
She has a personal relationship. You know how boyfriend, she has a person with each and
every one of them.
God, she tries to come through for all of them. And I'm wondering, how do you do these things? Because I'm like a social butterfly, like I said. So I have a lot of people around me, but inside my house, you don't see anybody except her.
But
But the thing is, with she's the opposite. You will not see anybody around her in the streets, but in her inner cackle, she has like, I'm like,
but people would think you're that kind of person. Don't think she's the one that has a lot of friends. I am sure back in school, people hated me.
I know. she, oh my God, this girl. Oh my God. She just kind of feel like,
because I won't even greet anybody. She's the one that makes me greet people I don't want to greet. I'm like, can we just walk straight? But before you walk from point A to point B, Joy has greeted the whole world. And I'm like, shoot me, please. Okay, oh my God.
Seriously, guys, this analogy is crazy, but that used to be our reality until marriage happened and motherhood. And right now, it's almost like for each season, our circle just keeps getting smaller and smaller.
And smaller.
Exactly. And this leads me to say that it is okay for you to put it outrightly to your friend or to anybody who you think are looking to or anybody who is extending a hand of friendship to you, it's okay if I tell them, I'm sorry, I don't have the capacity. There are different ways to do this. Now, I'm saying this because I've lost good people. I won't say lose per se, but I know a lot of people now. Some people have bad perceptions about me because I did not define it outrightly that I don't have the capacity to be your friend. So they're extending a hand of friendship, but I know that in the season of my life where I am, I will not be able to check up on you as much as you check up on me. I will not be able to run to your house at 12 a.m. because I cannot. Okay. And now, because I could not communicate that, a lot of people some people, or rather, some people will think, oh, Joy is not a good friend. No, it's not. So I feel like from my own experience, if you feel like someone is being very nice to you, even recently, I've had people who are around me, they're checking up on me, they're calling me, and sometimes they call me, we talk 1 hour, 2 hours, and I'm exhausted. I'm like, I cannot do this until the next month. If you call me anytime that is not 30 days mark, I'm not going to pick a call because I cannot. And that is my reality. A lot of people get anxious or they get too overwhelmed when they have to do so many things. Personally, I multitask in many things, but not when it comes to talking to somebody because, like you said, it takes a lot of intentionality to be somebody's friend. It takes a lot of intentionality to want to be in their lives, to want to share in their joys, their sorrows, or whatever they're going through. Okay. And if you do not have that capacity, I'm saying it now because a lot of people do not know when to draw the line. You think it's just about making friends. Everybody's my friend, everybody's my friend. That may not even be friendship, that may be acquaintances. Because if you're talking about friendship, you need to go all in. Okay, you need to go all in, right? So at this point, I think we now understand where we are, and we also know that in this level of our lives, we know that there's only so much we can handle. There's only so much.
Right now, I know back then I had a friend for the different areas or the different parts of my life that I was committed to. But right now, I really do not have the bandwidth for that anymore. Honestly, we have a lot to do, career-wise, business-wise,
I
children-wise.
know, motherhood.
There is a lot. Being a wife, right? There is a lot to do right now, and of course, you have the part where you need to build your relationship with God and be committed to your spirituality. So there's a lot to juggle now. And it can be overwhelming, honestly. So I do not have the strength to carry on a lot as I used to anymore. So I only flow with energy.
True.
I flow with energy.
Energy, guys, energy.
With my female relationships now, I flow with energy. Those that I know that are as committed as I am, I flow, and they reach out, I reach out, and the energy is matched. It might be selfish because some person might just be might be going through a lot. I don't know. But like I said, I'm not a witch. If you don't tell me, I won't know.
Yeah, true.
And that's why communication is important. If you don't communicate with me, I don't know. And if we get to that point where it's not working, then it's not working.
It's not working. There's nothing you can do about it.
Keep it moving.
Okay. Now, speaking about spirituality, I heard you mention spirituality and how you just want to balance it out. When it comes to your female friendships, is spirituality a criteria to become? You know how we talk about a lot of things. Do you see spirituality as a criteria as to people you rate or people you consider friends? Is that a big thing for you in friendship?
It is. It's a big deal for me, actually. I'm the person that would see. I'm an NSPPDian. Yes,
we are.
We are Catholics, but we are NSPPDians. I used to be a part of the Legion of Mary in school.
We used to be. She used to be our head.
Yes, and she was more of the charismatic person.
I've always been in the charismatic,
and I was never that person. But
right now,
oh my God, nobody will tell you that you should stand up and fight. Oh my goodness. You know what the Bible says about, and when the kingdom of God suffers violence, only the violence
take it by force.
That's why you know that you will keep your rosary.
You will guard up.
You stand up and fight. So we are NSPPDians, and I will see a post on social media. Back to your question. I will see a post on social media that Pastor Jerry made a declaration, and I will share it with my friends and those that are close to me. If you are not that person that takes God seriously, how will I? You cannot relate. You even be like you feel like I'm disturbing you.
True.
I used to share NSPPD prayers in the morning to those that I know are interested, my friends that I know are interested in. There was this friend of mine, every time I share with her, she wouldn't even acknowledge that she got the link, which is okay. Maybe you're just tired. I'm not the person that will share the link every single day.
True.
Right? But when I do share the link and you never acknowledge it, or you now start making okay, not acknowledging it is actually fine, actually. But you now make comments like you now make condescending comments about the prayer platform or what you're doing, making it sound religious. It's not being religious. It's, well, let me not digress. But you get what I mean. If you're not my friend and we are at par or in the same page when it comes to our spirituality and our prayer lives and how much we know that we need to be that fiery for God, then what are we doing?
True.
If we're friends, we should be able to
talk about
all of these things. I should be able to say certain things and you just speak on it immediately. As a spiritual person, as a Christian, you should be able to pick. I'm not saying that I have Muslim friends. I have people that are not as close to me or what's the word for it? We're not on the same level with our spiritual. There are people that we are on the same level spiritually. There are people that I aspire to be. There was a point I was aspiring to be like my elder sister and Joy. Like I mentioned, they were the charismatic people when it comes to their prayer. I was a legionary. I prefer to just say my rosary, just pray in the name of the Father, Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Which we still do. Don't get that.
But there are times when you need to stand up and fight, You stop speaking English and go crazy because the devil don't play.
I know.
So there's some persons, they don't get it, right? They don't get it. How do you explain these things to them? They see what you're doing and they even make jokes about it. I'm sorry, I can't be friends with you if you don't understand it. I know that they're even bad, they are fake men of God and charlatans and all of that. But you need to be able to respect, and even my friend would want to say, okay, this thing you've been talking about, let me see. Not put it down and make a joke out of it.
Yeah.
So spirituality, being a par, it's a criterion actually for being friends with someone. That's how we can actually, those that I connect with very well is those that on different levels in our lives, we connect with each other.
True.
And those that we don't connect totally like that, there is no synchronization. There's always, you see that, oh, you guys are friends, but you have to still walk around, walk on eggshells. You have to still be careful, not make certain comments. Before you say something, you think about it like 1,000,000 times. Oh, please don't exhaust me. Keep it moving.
And also, this thing you just mentioned, you know how even in our friendship, how sometimes I'm going through a phase and I call you to say, babe, this is what I'm going through. And you're like, babe, we need to pray.
Yes.
That is what I want to hear.
Yes, we need to pray.
I don't need you
sometimes
to
you don't even know the
solution.
answer.
Yeah, because you don't even have the answer.
True, I don't have the answer. We just need to pray.
We just need to go on
and
our
you
knees.
feel that peace overwhelm you.
And
it just covers you.
And even sometimes, even like when we pray together, and there's sometimes we get our rema. She's like, "Did you hear the rema? I had this dream."
Yes,
because we are in sync.
Because we're in sync,
and she can. The Lord can open her eyes for me, and I can dream. And there are times when I've seen her in my dreams, and not just her, like a lot of my friends, and that's because I put you in my prayer, right?
Yes.
So when I'm friends with you, it's beyond the physical. Okay. True. It's beyond what we see. It's also about me interceding for you in the secret place.
True. I need to call your name.
I need to call your name and be like, I'm holding my hands with Amachiko at this point in time, and we're trusting God for this.
Yes.
Because the Bible says where 2 or 3 are gathered. That's it. The Bible says where, and if Ami doesn't understand that the Bible says where 2 or 3 are, she doesn't understand the spirituality behind assembly, behind holding hands,
behind agreement.
Behind agreement. Okay, so she would not understand when I say, I need to pray for you, or I'm led in my spirit to pray about this for you. That's what friendship is, and that's why I said when I tell you I do not have the capacity to be friends with somebody, it's not from a place of being selfish. It's from a place of knowing that I may not even be there for you spiritually. I may not be able to do certain things I need to do for you. I may not be able to love up on you as much. It's beyond, hi, what's up, how far, what's your day?
It's beyond it, I beg.
If God cannot trust me to show me a revelation about you, then are we friends?
Then what are we doing?
What are we doing?
So Christianity is a big part. It's a
big part. Okay, and now this does not mean that I cannot be friends with a Muslim. Like she said, there are levels to this thing. If you're going to be among like if you're going to be like my circle or like
Close-knit.
the close knit, then we should be able to hold hands together and decree a word,
Yeah.
and it will be
And
established.
straight up.
That's it.
Period.
But seriously, like I feel I'm even getting more. I don't know, but yeah.
That's what you told me.
I was going to, guys. I was going to,
Period.
but seriously, and guess what, guys? I did not understand the depth of spirituality until marriage happened, until having kids happened, until you get to a bridge and there is no road to cross, and you know you need to pray your way out of it. And sometimes you're too weak to pray. Sometimes you're too tired to pray. You need somebody that will tell you, this is where we start from. This is how we're going to do it. Let's start by reading the Bible verse. Let's start by joining prayers. And you see that even from that, you're tapping currents. You're tapping energy. The energy is, you know how they say you're transferring current. And this person like, you're gingering me. Oh yeah, let's go, let's go. And that is, for me, that is beyond, there's nothing as beautiful as having a friend that sees beyond your physical.
True that.
There are times when I would see a friend of mine, like we're very close, and I'd be like, something doesn't sit right with you.
Something is off.
Something is off. Obviously, it's not the physical because I know you look good, but there's something that is happening in your life that should not be happening. Why is there a delay in this part of your life? Why is this thing not happening? Can we go on our knees and pray?
Straight up, the Holy Spirit starts to give you discernment.
Can we go about it and pray? And that's how it starts. And at the end of the day, you realize that when you call somebody your friend, or when, like, okay, in situations like this now, or the spiritual that we've talked about, in a situation whereby maybe that friend of mine, I don't want to use Army because everybody knows we've gone way back, but I'm talking about normal friends. In a situation whereby I now feel upset about what you did to me, do you think I do not love that relationship enough to want to salvage what we have? Because it's beyond the physical right now.
True.
We're now sisters. Does that make sense? So I feel like before you call somebody a friend, there should be like a checklist of things. There should be a lot of things you need to check out. Like, you don't just wake up one morning and say, she's my friend, he's my friend, or, you know, a lot of things.
Now that you mentioned this, I saw this sometime on social media. I think that was late last year. And this lady said, you need to be very, very particular about people you accept in your life as friends. You don't, not because someone is extending an arm of friendship, immediately you take it up. You have to be, not because you're all that anyways. You're not so important anyways. Of course, I am important. I'm sorry, I can be vague. I'm very important, but I'm not trying to make myself feel like I'm better than you, or I'm up here and you're down
but
here.
Your self-confidence is nothing to be.
Of course, I'm trying to say that you need to take yourself seriously enough to know that not everybody should be in your life. That's
true.
I'm actually just right now. I'm actually good with the kind of friend. I'm open to meeting a lot of people. I met Akachi. Was it not?
That's her work
last year. Akachi is the co-founder of Tech Sales Nexus. I met Akachi last year, and right now I can say that we've grown to some level of friendship. And baby is spiritual. She's this person that is on fire for God. And that was a turn on.
Now she takes my word. She takes the word out of my
mouth. That was a freaking turn on. Because Akachi is this person now that there are certain things you will talk about. It won't feel like, okay, what's this one talking about? There is this sync, right? Oh, and we just met last year. So I'm open to meeting new people, right?
There's room for that.
There's room for that, but I am very particular about who I let in my space. There is, and I'm not even trying to feel like I'm all that.
Okay.
But it is
what it is. Yeah. So guys, we have so much to talk about.
So much.
I feel like the more it's like an onion. The more we go
exactly.
to, the more we're,
layers upon layers.
And I don't want this video to be too long because I know that a lot of people don't have the
patience or the attention span.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have the attention span to watch this
like
to the very end.
For a very long time.
Anyway, so there will be a part 2, guys. Watch out for the part 2. We have so much to talk about. So much. You guys, we're going to dive into motherhood, friendships. We're going to talk about a lot of things.
Even when we fought.
Guys, you want to sit down for this, okay?
Yeah.
I will catch you very soon. Bye.
Should we talk about that time that you went to Australia?
Yes.
Oh my God, I will cry.
We'll talk about it.
Oh my
3 o'clock is 15 minutes. What are you saying? It's going to be more than that.
Jesus.
Are you ready?
I have a career
That's your
petition at
business.
3 o'clock.
Our conversation today is going to be quite long. I just want to give you briefs. And there's some questions that when I ask you, even if you don't feel comfortable to talk about it, I'll still cut it off. But then again, I'll just let you know when to be prompt, okay? Sorry.